Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hi, Jay.
Gentlemen,
How are you?
just fine.
Yeah. Oh, it's my turn. I was just waiting for someone to throw it back. That's okay. Yeah, you look nice today. I like that. Blue is your color.
Oh,
you know that
thanks,
blue is
man.
your color for sure.
Now you're making me blush.
Don't blush. Red and blue are not a great look. That's why I don't think there's many teams that have like red and blue as their main. except the best
What?
team in
What
the
goes
league.
better than red, white, and blue, man?
Well, red, white, and blue.
Come on.
Yeah. Anyway, what a rush day, dude! I just ran and took a 2-minute shower. I have a lunch with a Russian lady,
Yeah?
Jeannie Fiterovich, at
nice.
2:00. So I'm in a major hurry. I text Jay. Jay's usually here, like ready to go, and I can't bitch when he's not because I'm frequently the hang-up. I think most people in the room would agree that if we're tardy, usually has something to do with me.
I would say 2 of the 3 people would agree with that.
I'm on record. I will agree, yes.
So that means 3 of the 3 in the room would say that majority of the time, not always, that the hang up and the issue with start times is my issue. And so I can't be like, hey, motherfucker, where are you? This is unprofessional and bullshit.
Yeah, I was just at work. I thought we were doing this later, so sorry.
Yeah, we could do it later most any time, but, it's like I'm talking to her about going to lunch, and she's like, sounds good. How about noon? I'm like, oh, you mean like normal lunchtime for people? And I'm like, nah, how about like 2:00 is probably the earliest I could do it. She's like, very, very well. Let's do 2:00. By the way, I don't believe your Russian story about a lady who said the hideous ugly face for her daughter.
I will say, dude, and I think we did talk about it, but I looked for a while during that interview, and I could not find the article to prove you right. I was trying to pull it up. To be honest.
I found it.
Okay, I couldn't find it.
Yeah, that's for real. We
Okay.
definitely talked about
I
that
remember
story.
talking about it, but I
Sure.
couldn't find, I don't know, I just couldn't find it based on that description.
Well, your Bing skills have been in question lately, Jesus.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree. I found it. Here's the problem. I didn't find the original story I had, which I don't remember where I got it, but I did find a story out of the UK or maybe even Russia. But it wasn't like a normal place I would search. And so I found the story, and they got a picture of the daughter who's kind of jacked up. She didn't know, she had a daughter, and the daughter was so ugly, she was hideous, that they said, yes, this girl will die within days. And she's like, ugh, keep it then. Throw it away. Throw it in garbage. I don't need it. Well, the kid lived and went into foster care. That was the story. And then the thing was about to turn 18 or 16 or something, and they tracked the mom down and went, by the way, your hideous, ugly kid lived and now is going to go into like some court system thing for kids that turn 18 and can't still be in the foster program. I thought that was just adulthood and they just kicked them out. But
Right.
It's different, I
All
guess.
the projects.
Yeah, right. But it was different. And so they're like, would you take her in? She's like, ugh, I would like to, but she's still hideous, ugly face. But the thing said she is ugly face. It didn't say hideous. And I, for a fact, remember that's what I loved about that story was her calling her own
Hideous.
daughter hideous, ugly face.
It's kind of like that story, that baby's ugly.
That baby's ugly.
Right?
Yeah.
It was what was the
That-
lady
that ain't
said?
my
That's
baby.
not my baby.
It's not my baby.
Because that baby's ugly. It turns
Yeah.
out it was her baby.
Of course it was.
I hope your kid never sees either of those stories, Russian kid or, American
Yeah,
kid.
or the one where the guy in L.A., the newscaster, where they released every fucking detail about him setting up the dance studio
That's
to
right.
butt-fuck the guy, and then
The local newsman.
Yeah, the local newsman, and it was like they just added so much. It was like he answered the door nude, and he had set up like DJ lights to meet this guy. He called in sick or left work early.
Yes, he
'cause
did.
He needed to get his butt fuck on so bad. And they talked about amyl nitrate and insertion of other drugs into his body, which we assumed was a butthole.
Yeah.
And
Ended up ODing.
and did
and
he
all of this comes
choked
out.
on his vomit because he didn't open his mask?
Dude, that's right. He didn't unzip the zipper on his GIMP mask.
And it was like, you know what? Can we as a society just agree that his kids never see this article? It never. I don't know how we do that,
That's
but
so brutal.
so grim. And when I was on Kumia's show with him and Landau, Anthony was like, "What did this guy do to the local media that they felt the need to put every fucking
Great
sordid?"
point. There's none of those details make it to those stories.
There were so many details in there that were just over the fucking top. It was like, okay, guys, buckle up again. You're not going to believe this paragraph. And you guys are like, it can't get worse than what we just heard. It's like, oh, but it does. And then ending with he choked on his own vomit because he didn't unzip his fucking gimp mask. Oh,
now that I think about it, I want to know, like, he has a DJ set up with lights. Like, does he just have a card in playing a set list, or is he also...
No. It was
You think he's
DJ
up there
style
scratching?
lights.
Oh, just style lighting.
DJ style lighting. But we all agreed that you would have to get music with it. That would be awkward if you just had
Yeah, you'd have to have at least a
DJ
table
style
up
lights.
there and something.
Yeah. Some sort of musical accompaniment would be required, right?
Yeah,
It would be
God.
so weird if you just walked into...
That would be awkward.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
Silent room of lights just going like...
Seizure-inducing lights.
Yeah,
right?
I was just going to say, I don't know if that would make you seize less or more, but
would
I could
seize.
see seizing more without the music to, like, take your mind off all the
It would be an
seize-inducing
eerie
lights.
room, dude, to me, to walk in and have, like,
A
lights.
lighting rig.
Yes.
Well, where do you go? Tomorrowland.
Get
Yeah.
on your feet,
I mean,
Tomorrowland!
there's silent disco.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't that the silent disco
But
at
that's not the
Tomorrowland?
same thing, dude, as going into... I mean, silent disco, you're sitting usually, like, in an area where people have headphones on, and you still see DJs, and there's people around you. Going into a hotel room, knowing that you met some dude on, whether it was Grindr or however you met this dude, and there's just, like, silence, but lights kind of flashing around.
And he brought his own stage lighting setup to a
How long-
hotel room.
Wonder how long that took to set up.
He's probably done it multiple times, but
got it
dude,
down
is there
pat.
anything like if you started a horror movie and you show up to a hotel room and the guy answers the door nude with a gimp mask on
With a
and
lighting
silent and with a lighting rig, would that just be just like the most horrifying scene to open a movie ever?
That's what I'm
Oh, yeah.
picturing in my head. That's why I said it'd be so creepy to me. That's what I'm
Yeah.
picturing, like a horror movie, just walking in and like a silent level of like lights flashing, this dude in a mask.
And I don't know that it would help too much if you just had in the background. I don't know that.
Yeah, but it's a special kind of eerie if there's nothing and it's
Yeah.
just lights and that guy standing
Looking around,
there.
he's just standing there with an unzipped gimp mask on, and he's rock.
Diabolical.
Oh man!
Hey, speaking of EDM, Easus, you see Miami Ultra sort of went south in terms of the
did.
transportation over the
Yeah.
Causeway.
I was gonna go this year
Yeah.
because I liked it.
you had tickets this year.
I did. I bought tickets, but I just what happened was last year, the last blank years, it's been downtown, but the downtown people got kind of mad about the noise and the people, and so there was
So
a
they
big.
moved it off to this.
Yeah,
this
there was
key.
a big fight.
People in Miami got pissed about the noise.
know,
I mean,
man.
that seems like an oxymoron in and of itself.
I mean, it's a weird situation because Miami, obviously, at certain parts, there's very, very wealthy people, and where that festival was originally, I mean, there was literally apartments like along it. So I mean, I think there were stories of
and it's
people
multiple days too, isn't it?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I think there was
Yeah.
people talking about like you'd be in your apartment and literally just think like almost as
Shaking.
an earthquake is happening. And the thing is they went right up until a few, like honestly, like I think it was not until February, or maybe just January, when they finally were like, this is where it was going to be. And I just foresaw it being on this island and being a shit show getting it on the island. So I
And you
sold
were
my
right, dude. It
Right.
was Firefest-esque.
Right.
Well, I
One night-
got upset at people for doing that because Firefest was
Well, yeah,
very,
that's,
very
that's
unique.
the headline grabber.
Right, exactly. Fire Festival too. I think
It
a
was
couple people
probably
said that.
equal to the problem that Metallica had with Belle Isle, right? You heard about a lot of people
Yeah,
having to
yeah.
walk off Belle Isle and walk for a couple miles.
Right, and so this island that you guys are talking about, right off the coast of Miami, there's like a 4-mile bridge or something, causeway that connects them, and so the festival, like people stayed till 2 a.m. when the final night ended,
Yeah,
and
you're
they
like,
had
all right, where's my Uber?
yeah, they had shuttle buses that could accommodate about 11,000 people. And they had 70,000 people trying to
Right,
get on them.
right.
And so they were trying to get people to use the tramway, and there was like a people mover. There were a couple things. But
Yeah, there
people
was- yeah.
were like
Gonna jog off that ecstasy, I guess, right? E?
Yeah, I guess.
4-mile run.
4-mile walk at 2 a.m. after
Yeah,
partying all
that
day.
blows.
I actually heard that they actually did. I know 2 people that went. One person who bought the ticket from me, and I actually did hear that the first night was absolute, shit show.
That was the end of the first night.
And the second night,
They figured it
They
out.
did find a way to figure it out.
They
Luckily-
said they were going to too. They
I
were
heard
saying
that they
we're
did.
very confident that the rest of this, because
And
it was
this
like 3 more.
happens.
I think it was 4 days or something.
No, it was 3. But this
Was it?
happens at festival. When I went to Imagine 2 years ago, they had a thing where like the first day, for whatever reason, they did not have enough gates open. Like it was at a NASCAR track, and they had like the one gate, and there was literally people I think we waited an hour. I think some people, but from our site, we could
It's like
see
a funnel. Just
we
trying
could,
to get in
we
this
could
one
see
gate.
the line, and we didn't even go in until finally we're like, we got to get in line at some point. But I think some people waited hours. But literally the next day, though, they
Jay,
opened.
you and I have been through the exact same thing. When when you go to the bank and only one window's open and there's like 3 or 4 people in line, and you're like, "Fuck, what is the hang up
the same
here?" It's
thing.
like I don't know what. It's awful. It's an awful feeling. We've all been there. It's
Well,
terrible.
luckily, at the one festival that I went to, same thing, though. Next day, they just stayed good at assessing the situation, and they opened up like 3 more gates, and the next 2 days, it was fine. But
Tomorrowland would never be.
everyone's had issues.
Get on your feet tomorrow.
Festivals are tough, man. I mean, even if you've done it a lot,
Oh, yeah.
if one thing happens all of a sudden where, it could be anything from all of a sudden 10 people call off that we're doing the gates, and so I have to close an extra gate,
Yeah.
so you just never know.
Stand
But-
at the gate tomorrow.
Right. But I'm going to go next year to Ultra, so.
Hey, everybody. This segment is brought to you by Mayor and Company Accountants. It is tax time, so you got to call Mayor. If you dread handling your personal or business taxes as much as you dread standing in line at an EDM show, well,
Or
let
the
Kyle
bank.
Mayer handle it all for you, or the bank. Kyle's a pro. You can trust him. Don't waste your time trying to figure out all those damn forms, numbers, and deductions. Leave it to Kyle. Call him today, 248-521-0016.
Today is the day officially, guys, that you do not want to be caught butt fucking in, Brunei or wherever,
Oh, the stoning
yeah, where you
policy
could
goes
be
in
whipped
today?
to death, stoned to death. Yeah. So today's the day. They said.
I'm glad
the
I got my
3rd.
butt fuck on last night, right?
There you go. There you go. Just don't do it over there.
Yeah.
And do not, under any circumstance, try to talk to a Muslim kid about another religion. I mean, that'll get you fucking in serious shit, too.
As it should.
So celebrities, the LGBTQ community, they're all calling for a boycott, once again, of the Brunei-owned hotels in L.A. over the
know what
country's
I wouldn't mind?
draconian laws of gay sex and relationships. What's that?
I wouldn't mind if the LGBTQ community maybe took this opportunity to say, like, look, I know things aren't perfect over here, but look at this, and kind of maybe come out and say, yes, we still have ways to go, but damn, I guess we should sit back and realize America's pretty fucking good, too.
Yeah, that doesn't serve the purpose.
Nah, that doesn't fit the narrative.
I know.
It would be nice to, have some slow
never-
motion videos come out, kind of like they do with the dogs that need help, and they put the lovely music bed under it, and they got a dog
Or
sitting
the
there.
little
It's like,
orphan
oh,
kids with
man.
flies landing on their
Yeah.
eyeballs.
And if they put that same music bed under it, and then we just got slow motion videos of gay people being stoned to death and whipped to death, and just to bring awareness that this is what it looks like, just like they do with the dogs in the shelters, where it's like, yeah, I got a toothache and no one will fix it because I'm homeless and I live in a jail cell, basically.
Yeah, that would help drive it home, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those, because I have to turn my head when I look at those commercials. I don't demand they pull them, but they disturb me. And these would all be equally disturbing, seeing humans stoned to death, you know what I mean? But it would send the message and maybe get people on board that we need to take action against Brunei.
The networks might have a problem with that, but I
You
see
think?
your point.
Yeah, I'm just, I'm doing what I can. I'm trying to pitch ideas here. No one else is doing it. Well, except
George
for
Clooney.
Clooney and Elton John are doing their part. They, I think George had a column that he wrote.
Didn't Bill Maher call him out for that? I think he did. Bill Maher was like, "Are you kidding me? This is just, you want people to boycott this certain hotel in Beverly Hills." He's like,
Two
as
of 'em.
if the Sultan of Brunei is going to look at his bottom line and go, "Oh, we didn't sell 3 soups that day. We better make some changes."
It's insulting, and I have more, and I went through this with a fine-tooth comb so that I don't repeat a bunch of stuff that we talked about the Sultan of Brunei the other day about their extravagance and wealth. So these are going to be different facts about them, and but you're absolutely right. The fact is, the Beverly Hills Hotel and also the Hotel Bel Air. Which one's the pink and green one? Is that the Beverly Hills? I think it's the Beverly Hills Hilton. You'll know it immediately. It's very iconic. It's maybe where Belushi died, and all that shit. Anytime they do true Hollywood stories, there's an iconic shot of it.
I'm more familiar with Marin County, so as you know, if
Marin,
we're going to talk West Coast.
Yeah, very familiar with Marin County. He wrote, they're nice hotels. The people who work there are kind and helpful and have no part in the ownership of these properties. Well, it should end there, because these guys are worth like $50 billion. So what is it, to Jay's point, what does it matter? Like, oh, we didn't sell a fucking bowl of soup in America. They own properties here that are bigger than anything you've ever seen, and they don't come here.
Yeah.
So you think they give a shit about this hotel and, the George Clooney? First off, regular people aren't staying at the Bel Air or the Beverly Hills Hotel. So it's all of you guys that are sporting it. You boycotted it a year ago or whatever, 2 years ago, and then what? You just were like, okay, I guess can we go back now? It's a cool place to hang.
enough time.
I mean, it's almost been like 3 months. I mean, I really like their food over there, and they really kiss my ass when I go there, and meetings are fun to have there and stuff.
Yeah, it just seems trite, doesn't it?
Yeah, and so what you're basically doing is taking all the people, all the illegal immigrants that work in the Beverly Hills Hotel and the Bel Air, all those illegal aliens that clean the rooms and cook the food
That's a great
and
point.
carry your bags up, all of them are the ones getting fucked.
I hadn't thought of that. But that's a great point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Bill Maher called it chicken shit tokenism.
Yeah.
Suggesting that if the actor really wants to get back at the oil-rich country, he should stop driving or using oil.
There you go. That's not a bad idea. That would hurt them. That did hurt them back a few years ago when oil prices shot up and people stopped buying as many barrels of oil. That actually did hit their bottom line. So yeah, they have no part in the ownership of these prices. But let's be clear: every single time we stay at, or take meetings at, or dine at any of these hotels, we're putting money directly into the pockets of men who choose to stone and whip to death their own citizens for being gay,
Virtue
accused of
signaling.
adultery. It's like, yeah, but you and your kind are the only ones that stay there.
Yeah.
So why don't you just call your buddies and tell them not to go there? Because Big E ain't going there anytime soon. Neither am I, and neither is Jay.
It's a big fat virtue signal. That's all this is.
Officials are demanding a boycott of the businesses over Brunei's treatment of gay people as well. As a citywide elected official, I represent a diverse community of Angelinos. Los Angelinos, nice. And I call on everyone to boycott the hotels, LA Controller Ron Galperin said. Thanks, Ron. Really moving the ball down the field, too. I will not set foot in these establishments. Thanks, Ron. So long as they're owned and controlled by a regime willing to kill gay people. So the new penalty, the Islamic Penal Code, a.k.a. Sharia law, comes into force, like I said today. Death penalty for a number of offenses, including rape. And I don't mind that. Stoning to death seems a bit harsh, cruel, and unusual, perhaps. But I'm not going to tell the Sharias how to do their laws. Adultery.
Imagine there's not the most, due process involved and making sure that all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted in terms of that conviction.
So do you think the trials are pretty quick?
But if you could confirm that somebody, I'd be all for a stoning. Rape's
really
pretty bad, man.
Rape is bad, but
don't rape.
Well, don't rape.
You won't get stoned.
Can we say for the guy that drags the girl into the bush, rape, and not like, oh my God, I didn't fully give him consent. It's basically rape. I told him to stop halfway through. What about that rape?
Hey, my statement assumed that you were guilty of rape, so whatever that means to you.
Well, you can be guilty of that kind of rape. And
hey, if you're guilty of rape, bam, stone him. I'm fine with that.
She wanted to stop halfway through, and he went, I just got to get this last nut real quick. Stoned to death? I know, it's horrible. Horrible. So rape, adultery, cheat on your wife. What if she's a bitch and she won't put out anymore?
Yeah, that seems harsh. Adultery? Wow.
Stoned to death? You start, strike up a little conversation with the neighbor, widow, and one thing leads to another because your bitch wife won't put out anymore, refuses to take a solid butt fucking in the living room.
If you want to pin it on something, pin it on that.
Sodomy. So I used to think,
can't even butt fuck?
I think that's blowjobs,
It's
too.
both, man.
Yeah, but I thought sodomy for the longest time was just strictly butt fucking. But it's not.
Yeah.
It includes blowjobs. So someone walks in, and you're getting blown. You're getting a nice little blowy on the fucking couch. Stoned to death.
Doesn't that seem odd that
Seems
that
harsh,
term,
doesn't it,
no,
Jesus?
but that term
Would refer to both.
Blowjob and
It's
anal
non-natural
sex.
sexy.
Okay.
Yeah, think of it that way.
Okay.
You're not having a kid.
Gotcha.
Someone might want to let Eddie Van Halen know, but, you can't knock someone up. Sex is for procreation.
Yeah, why would you
as
do it
know.
otherwise, E?
That's
Why?
a great point.
One reason to have sex.
One.
To have kids.
See, that's why Gab and I have had sex 3 times.
Exactly. So robbery can get you killed, or it can get your right hand chopped off and then your left foot for a second offense. Wasn't that?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you're imbalanced.
You're totally imbalanced. Yeah. Also, insulting or defaming the Prophet Muhammad. Death by stoning. Also, introduces public flogging. Is that the whip thing, or that?
I think it's a whip with the stuff on the end, the
Like fuzzy stuff or sharp
not
stuff?
fuzzy stuff. I'm picturing sharp objects.
That's flogging is punishment for abortion. What if it's like, you just miscarry? Does that count? Did you piss someone off and now you miscarried?
Boy, I don't know.
I'm asking you to be an expert on Sharia right now, and it's hard to do. I just wanted to make sure we're clear on the rules, because, if I, get on a whim, just book a trip to Brunei, I don't want to.
God, can I not? I was trying to, I just had this, when Mike talked about the idea of, buddying up to the neighbor's wife in Brunei. So I thought, well, can I go to Google and, go to the street views of things and see what would these neighbor houses look like? Can I not? I don't think they have it set up. I don't think I can look at Google Street Views in Brunei.
Google hasn't rolled through Brunei?
Oh, here we go. Here's something.
Yeah, they have. Google's in space, dude. They see everything.
I finally found something.
Well, you're going to have Google Earth, but you might not have Street View, right?
Yeah, well, this is...
Oh, they do have Street
It's
View.
absolutely stunning. Gorgeous.
Here, but it's just not what I was
Greener
hoping.
than I expected?
Much. Look at
an
it palmed
emerald
up
green
nice.
hue.
Come on. Anyway, well, that's some of Brunei. Looks like a nicer version of it.
What a shit fountain. Look at that shit.
Yeah, terrible. Come on,
Is that a
Sultan,
toilet
get on
or a
that.
fountain?
Yeah, that's
My
awful.
God, man.
Was this after hurricane season, like the day after it ended?
It's like a big public toilet. Look at that thing.
Boy, the oil and gas discovery folks cannot be happy about that.
It's embarrassing for them right
Absolutely embarrassing.
A fountain from Brunei and judging it.
now. Can we get somebody on that? This is truly
Yeah,
embarrassing.
it is. With all the lush greenery and the beauty that we're seeing there, you have this and I mean filthy toilet of a fucking fountain.
This is
the
your
fountain even
ambassador.
on?
This is your ambassador to the rest of the world. We Google Brunei, and this is what
This
we
is
get.
what pops up.
My God, man.
I mean, can you go up? Is the thing even operational? Is it even on? Oh,
It's definitely not on.
Middle of the day, you got mostly blue
Oh,
skies.
look at that! All the
a little overcast.
tiles falling off. This
Oh, yeah, there you
is
go.
travesty.
Holy shit. I almost want to call the country of Brunei and get someone on the horn and just,
Dude, it's
just
Oil
take
and
up
Gas
this.
Discovery Center specifically. We could get them on the line.
Yeah, because their phone's been blowing up about the whole, oh, don't stone gay people and stuff. If we called out of the blue outraged at their fucking fountain...
Might take their mind off things.
Yeah, just shifting gears. I know you guys are fielding a lot of calls today about the stonings and whatnot,
But
but
my God, man.
holy shit. The Oil and Gas Discovery Observatory is filthy. That fountain is gross. Local reports say the hotel has lost millions of dollars in business because of these celebrities that refuse
Okay.
to go there. So anyway, I was like looking at the Sultan. We learned about Jeffrey and the Sultan and whatnot last week. They don't have tax. They're a tax-free country. They pay no taxes over there because they have so much money. It's like, whatever. The Sultan held the position of the world's richest man
So
for,
somebody
for
what,
many
just
years.
built roads for fun? Like, I'll be the guy. I'll build the roads.
Yeah,
You know
he's-
what? Oil and Gas Discovery Center, I got your fountain.
The Sultan of Brunei earns $100 a second from oil earning and investments.
I don't know what the cost to call Brunei is, but there's...
Well, we know why they're getting 3.9 stars instead of 5. And it's all about the
absolutely.
fountain out front.
And that fountain is their main image, like their image that first shows up.
Oh, they're proud of it.
Oh, they're closed right now?
All right, let's call this tomorrow.
Yeah, they're closed now. They open at 8:30 Brunei time. So, so yeah, he was passed up by Bill Gates. Bill Gates passed him up as number one on the world's richest, and by the 90s he had fallen to number 3 as a result of some falling oil prices and the spending of Prince Jeffrey. The Prince Jeffrey spending dropped him to number 3 on the
They
world's
say they
richest
were like
list.
dropping $1 million a day or some shit,
Yeah.
right? Just
He makes $2 billion a year just from oil investments. $100 a second.
and who's Jeffrey again? His brother?
Yeah. Prince Jeffrey's the younger brother. His country became independent in 1984, and that's when he treated himself to that $350 million palace that we've read about.
Yeah, 1,000 bedrooms was it?
No, 1,788.
1,700, yeah.
Yeah. So the Sultan and his family have indulged themselves in lavish parties. He paid Elton John, Diana Ross, Stevie Wonder, Bon Jovi, and Tina Turner to come to Brunei and entertain him and his buddies once. In the mid-'90s, he and his brother were credited with supplying roughly half of Rolls-Royce's sales income.
Oh, man.
Half. The Sultan's extravagance is legendary. While playing polo with Britain's Prince Charles, the Sultan once had his polo shoes delivered by helicopter. That's so
Correct
dope,
me
dude.
if I'm wrong, but you ride a horse during polo?
Yeah.
Do you really need certain boots or shoes? Couldn't you get away with some different ones?
If they could be delivered by heli, yes, you have that done. They used to spend so much money, up to $500 million a year at the London jeweler Asprey, that they're like, let's just buy it instead because it supplies the jewelry for the Queen. So he bought it for $375 million. He was spending more in a year than the thing cost. That was almost double what the value of the Asprey was.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The Sultan erected this 1,788-room palace on 49 acres. So that's the size of San Francisco, right? 49, isn't it 49?
Americana's specialty. Yeah.
That was 49 square miles. So no, that was not that. Which is without equal in the world for offensive and ugly display. Do we have pictures?
Yeah, when I was picturing palace, you asked me last week how many bedrooms you think, and I was like, I don't know, 35. Like I'm picturing Cinderella's castle.
Right.
This thing, holy shit, 1,000 bedrooms?
No,
1,700
almost
rooms?
2,000 bedrooms. 1,788.
Well, that's the number of rooms.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Room, yeah.
So, like, here, I could just, this is
just start clicking through them. You just pull one up and...
Sure.
Ha!
Look at it.
It's like something out of Vegas, you know?
They said it's hideous.
So garish, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like... It's Donald Trump's wet dream.
Yeah, gold-plated.
Yeah.
Jeez, that looks like... Christ.
It's like hand-delivered marble tile from wherever.
That's a residence.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
Cool.
They then he flew Whitney Houston in for a performance. He gave her a blank check and said, write in whatever number you think you were worth.
Awesome.
She wrote $7 million. She took $7 million. Then there were the gifts. An official list from 2002 details more than $17 billion with a B in payments and presents to family, friends, VIPs, and entourage.
Did you see the one of that the plane?
You know what? I forgot. He
looked like a throne. Look at that.
Yeah, that's his plane. It's got a living room in it.
But look at that central seat. It's like a throne area.
He's the Sultan of
It's
Brunei,
Sartrakian for sure, you know.
Isn't it?
Yeah, like
it is.
Like he's
it's like Kirk would slump down in that.
Fuck yes.
He doesn't think twice about getting a haircut for $21,000. He wears a hat all the time too.
Puts John Edwards to shame. Remember, he got all that flack for getting a really expensive haircut.
Yeah.
It was like $200.
Yeah, $300 or something.
You know, even though I guess like you're spending billions a year. You make $2 billion a year. But like even with that money, like what is the difference between $21,000 haircut and a $10,000 haircut?
Nothing.
It's like,
and who was the one that
has
when
suckered
like,
him into it?
I need a barber now. Get someone in here, and then it's like I'm done. I'm gonna pay your bill. What do I owe you? He's thinking it's gonna be like $10, $15 like Bo Ricks, and it's like $21,000.
Do you think he just like okay, I know the deal. So don't go too high, but what can I do? What can I get out of him? 21?
I mean, he could have you killed if it was like, dude, I'm not paying 20 or insulted.
Right.
What?
Right,
I paid
right.
less than $100,000 for a haircut?
It is a gold-plated Flowbee, though.
Yeah, that's true. They said the Sultan's current asset, let's see, if the income keeps on growing at the current rate, his eldest son might soon be the world's first trillionaire. Trillionaire.
Christ.
We got to get off the oil, boys.
Yeah, for sure.
The Sultan's biggest extravagance, they say, is the love he has for his younger brother, Jeffrey. Oh, yeah. His companion in hedonism. They stacked up real estate like monopoly pieces, hundreds of far-flung properties, a collection of five-star hotels, an array of international companies. The one Asprey's. The brothers routinely traveled with 100-member entourages and emptied entire inventories of stores like Armani and Versace. They would buy 100 suits of the same color at a time.
Where does it even go? Like, again, you know what? I get it. You have so
He's
much
got
money.
1,788 rooms to fill, man.
I just
at
wonder
home.
where it goes, though. Even when got that much money, even though you don't care, still, where does it go?
Yeah,
you wear every shirt.
And even with that, after experiencing that for a couple of years, like no part of you just goes, I don't need 100 of these.
Yeah.
You know?
You would think. They said, dude, there's some shit coming up. It's just like, so they party their asses off. They indulged in everything forbidden in a Muslim country. Afforded 4 wives by Islamic law, so that's fair. You can have 4. They left their multiple spouses and scores of children in their palaces while they sent emissaries to comb the globe for the sexiest woman they could find in order to create a harem like no other.
Now, there's another thing. What is that? Like, this, you know, he sends this guy. How does he do it? How does he go about that? Is he going to nightclubs, you know what I mean? And just like he knows what he likes, like he knows, okay, he likes blondes, he likes this. And how is he approaching those women? Like,
can you imagine how phony that would feel
Oh my
as
God.
a woman? You're in New York or something,
Yeah.
and you're hot,
Some guy
and
just
you're used to people approaching you
Right.
in creative, douchey ways.
Yeah.
And some dude comes, oh, I represent the Sultan of Brunei. You're like, fuck off, man.
Yeah.
Hand
No,
you some
seriously.
card or something.
Yeah, Sultan's emissary.
he shows some images of like the plane. Goes, no, seriously, we can fly to Brunei right now.
Well, those models that were going over there and just being like left in a room
Yeah.
to wait for one of them to go, I'll take you tonight.
Until they're ready to be sodomized.
Yeah, and then they would just bust a nut and just be like, well, see you later, and just walk out of the room. He didn't give a fuck. $3,000 a day, though, those girls were paid. That's not bad money, for $3,000 a day.
To be a hooer.
Yeah, to be a whore.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the lavish palace of the Sultan, the world's largest residential palace, completed in 1984, covers 2 million square feet. $350 million. It has domes gilded with 24-karat gold, the 1,788 rooms, gold-plated escalators, air-conditioned stables for the ponies, an 800-car underground garage for his cars. It's larger than the Vatican. Yeah. The palace also includes a banquet hall that can be expanded to accommodate up to 5,000 guests, a mosque that accommodates 1,500 people, 5 swimming pools. I think they went low on the swimming pools.
Hey, I think this is
Yeah, relatively speaking.
the toilet, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Hell yeah. Would you want to shit in that just once? Of
course.
Or whiz in it once? He's got a home in Vegas, Sultan of Brunei. He's got a Vegas home with an official listing of $37.5 million, built strictly for his younger brother, Jeffrey. I got Jeffrey in there.
Loves him some Jeffrey, man.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest homes in Vegas. Has 17 bedroom suites with bathrooms. There's a master bedroom and a total of 36 bathrooms. The property sits on 11.2 acres of well-developed estate, an international-sized swimming pool, swan pond, large gardens with an arcade of palms. Landscape is decorated with fountains, lawns, sitting areas, and extensive decorative lighting. It's got an equestrian center along with a polo track, a sushi bar, and a discotheque.
If you look up, I believe that's it.
Oh, shit.
The
Yep.
Vegas one.
Yeah.
All right, how many square feet did you say it was?
11.2 acres. It's 73,000 square foot.
Okay, I thought you said 2 million.
Oh no,
say
that was his house.
Yeah,
It was
okay.
2 million.
Yeah, so for some context, total retail floor space at 12 Oaks Mall, 1,500,000.
And
Look at that.
that's 2 floors, right? So you're counting.
Total retail sales space.
Yeah.
12 Oaks Mall, smaller than my man's house.
Let's make sure we got this right. So because that's just insane, dude. Let's see.
Yeah,
here.
number of floors 2, 3 in Macy's. So you can
Yep.
picture 12 Oaks Mall.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I want to. Fuck. Where was that? I can't find it. Anyway. Yeah.
You said 2 million for sure, but I know.
I know. I
yeah.
want to make sure.
That's
what was
what
that?
sent me to the Bing machine.
Sure. What was the 2 million? Was it? It wasn't. Was it square foot?
I thought that's what you said.
Shit. Okay. If that's what I said, that's what I was reading. The Vegas property. Okay. Has the house has been constituted by 8 separate buildings. Commercial kitchen is restaurant grade. A separate men's and ladies spa and salon. The master bedroom, themed with a large zebra skin carpet, is 4,000 square feet in itself. That's just the master bedroom. The home total living space greater than 73,000 square
Here we
foot.
go.
That little zebra proofs looks
poor guy.
tiny, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That big
That's a
floor.
zebra on that
It's a
floor.
fucking zebra, dude.
Like when you put a
That's
quarter
real
on,
too. That is
It's
not
not a painted white horse. That is
no,
a zebra.
That is an absolute zebra.
Dude, that's like when you put like a quarter in front of something to give context to the room.
Yeah, he uses zebras.
Yeah.
How many zebras will the floor be?
I bet that's a custom bed too. He did not go to like Art Van for that thing.
No, he
you know
did
what I
not.
mean?
You think?
Look at the size of that thing. How many bitches can you fit in there?
I know, right?
Wow.
The Sultan's private jet is a Boeing 747-400. It's no less than a palace itself. A living room, a bedroom with details of gold and precious gold in the jet that could only belong to a sultan. His collection of cars includes 8 McLaren F1s, 6 Dower 962 LMs, the only right-hand drive CLK GTR in the world, pair of Jaguars, a Porsche 959. His Majesty doesn't really get into cars that much, though. You know,
But Jeffrey does.
but his playboy younger brother Prince Jeffrey and his oldest son Prince Hakeem are.
You have to have hobbies. You have to have hobbies, man, to keep yourself busy.
He's got so many custom-made cars. Like Ferrari builds them like one-offs. These are one-offs.
Oh, my God.
One in existence. Because money's no object. Some concept cars such as Bentley Java, the Ferrari Mythos show car were exclusively developed into real running machines for the Sultan. He has many cars we have never seen and heard. For instance, the Ferrari FX, a supercar based on the F512M, but enclosed with an adventurous-looking body and a button-shift semi-automatic developed by ProDrive. He has 6 of those.
See, these are the companies that you should be going. You know, they said they're talking about the hotel. If you want to go after companies, go after freaking like Ferrari or whoever that was.
Rolls Royce and Ferrari.
Rolls Royce and say like, you know, hit them and say you're really selling, you know, custom one-offs, make money for guys that are stoning, okay with stoning homos or whatever. Like,
Well, he's got a get this, guys. He has a private museum displaying all the Formula One championship-winning race cars since 1980. All are real cars bought from the teams.
Shit.
In the past 15 years, the royal family has been the most important client to many prestige car specialists. Aston supplied 200 to 300 cars during these years. Rolls-Royce even regularly supplied 40 to 50 cars a year. The Sultan has almost 600 Mercedes, including one that is gold-plated. One whole section of his hangar-sized garage is dedicated for storing the most exclusive and rarest Mercedes.
there's some up there. It looks like a view of it.
Yeah. Get a load of this. His collection includes models not meant for the public. The Sultan has Ferraris, which were just meant to be concept cars. One cannot possibly even imagine a car collection without the elegance of BMWs. The Sultan also thinks the same way. Therefore, he's got a couple hundred of these in his private collection. Rolls-Royce. He has so much love for these cars that he keeps a Rolls-Royce in front of his palace with the engine running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Gotcha.
Kidding me?
Oh, my God, dude. Look
think
at that one. Wow.
That's the gold.
He paid 21 grand for that haircut. We'll never see it. Dude, he keeps a Rolls-Royce with the engine running out front of his house 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
For what? Like, okay.
And by the way, every one of these cars is absolutely built bulletproof for him.
Sure.
The Empire Hotel in Brunei is witness to the greatest empire of cars. A garage the size of 5 aircraft hangars holds within its collection of 7,000 of the world's finest cars with a value of $5 billion. It would be misleading to call this palace of cars as a garage, but even if it were to call it so functionally, it's more than that. It has separate wings to hold different brands. Thus, there is a Mercedes wing, a Rolls-Royce wing, Lamborghini wing, Jaguar wing. Some of the cars here are the only ones of their kind on the face of the earth. They barely get out of the garage because of 2 reasons. One, a car parked all the way in the back would take you an hour and a half to just go get it.
What an asshole.
With a ratio of more than 100 cars per individual in the Sultan's family and court, a car gets used about twice, maybe 3 times a year.
Yeah. You're right, Jay. Honestly, what an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, I asked the question about the suits before. You know, how long do you go like that, buying and accumulating until you just realize, like, all right.
Isn't it the yin and the yang theory, like good and bad, bad versus evil, good versus evil? Like, you can't have one without the other. If everything is just on a moonshot of indulgence, that becomes normal and boring.
You need bad times to appreciate the good times.
Not only that, but wouldn't you just as a human being look around and go, all right, like, why am I so blessed here? And
because I was born.
Is this what I should be doing? Like, doesn't some part of you ask? I get it, man. I mean, he's just he's totally feeling like his whole life he's the guy and everybody's kissing his ass and all that. It's going to be hard to do that, but at some quiet moment and some day, some time, wouldn't it hit you?
Well,
You would hope,
like,
but
you wonder about the wellness of your soul. You know, like where's all this going?
Well, to them, they would say probably. We've made Brunei tax-free. The citizens of the country don't pay any tax to the government. He's also made the medical coverage for children, police, disabled, and members of the Brunei Armed Forces free of cost. So there's a lot of people that would point to that shit. But, I don't know, dude. I think because you're talking about generations. This is like a monarchy and like the queen and shit. You're born into this. you know, you're marrying your first cousin and stuff, and this weird bloodline is developed, and you're born into this,
Privilege.
and all
It's
you know,
I know,
for generations,
and everybody's telling you you're the guy, you're
the
privileged.
guy. Oh, one day you're going to be you're the boss at 5.
Man,
you know,
wouldn't it just you as a human being? Wouldn't it hit you at some point? I feel like it would, man.
I don't know that that's possible. I mean, there's probably examples, and you know, Princess Diana was a good example, but she wasn't born into that kind of wealth.
Wouldn't it just be a natural curiosity to wonder how it would be not to be that rich, right? Wouldn't feelings like that hit you at some point?
I don't think you're talking about a guy that turns on the TV and watches the fucking
Well, didn't you say the one guy
the
couldn't
commercial and you know, like these are people that are getting, you know, everything is done for them. They're getting commercial free everything if they're watching anything. Like they're not seeing tragedy in the world. Probably it's probably even screened out for them. Who knows what they know and feel, and
Right.
and being raised like that from infancy to now, it's like whatever your heart desires, it doesn't matter. Just keep thinking bigger. I mean, dude, this shit is obnoxious on levels we've never even seen before,
Well, didn't
and
you-
it's been going on for decades. What's Eddie?
Didn't you say the one guy couldn't even, like, if it came down to it, they assumed that he could not make a phone call, right? Like I
Yeah.
thought that's what you said the other day.
Oh, he
like,
was so
like
oblivious.
so
Yeah.
out of touch that like if he had to make a phone call,
I
to
think
save
that was
his-
Prince Hakeem.
Okay.
And that was the one that
eldest son.
the son or the Sultan, they said he couldn't, because he had a falling out with Jeffrey, believe it or not. And I think they may have patched things up.
Oh, I hope so.
But Jeffrey was asked to leave, and he wasn't allowed to take any cars. He wasn't allowed, like, you know, to go to Versace or something. Like, there was ridiculous things he wasn't allowed to do. And they said that, you know, he kidnapped his son Hakeem, too, or something like that, or Joffrey's oldest boy. And they're like, he's not kidnapped. Are you kidding me? He can go anytime he wants if he can know how to dial the phone. He can call anyone to pick him up. But he doesn't. So I guess if that counts as imprisonment, sure, he's imprisoned.
Well, I don't mean even imprisonment, but when you're saying like the level of privilege and when you start thinking things, I mean, if it's that bad, like you're that ingrained. When Mike says, I mean, it might be since you're a kid, they're literally just, this is your food. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
Someone's putting food
No, I
in your
understand.
mouth.
I just wonder if there's just some natural human
I would think
condition that makes you
would think
curious about the other
Yeah,
side and makes
yeah.
you sympathetic to someone or makes you question.
Well, it's sad.
Where's all this going? Am I doing this right?
Yeah, I don't think, you know, when you've got, you know, teams of people scouring the earth just to find the hottest underage chicks to be part of your harem, where you just go and stick your dick in whatever hole they have.
Yeah, it's next level,
Like, dude, that you don't have value for life at that point.
Mm-hmm.
You certainly don't respect anyone else. You know, when you're behaving like that and just throwing wads of cash.
Yeah.
You know, at whatever the issue is. You know, and hearing people in their cabinet or whatever that have left. Remember that other article they were saying, you know, like these guys could literally change the world and eradicate
right.
problems and fix whole countries' issues with the vast wealth they have.
Instead
and it's
of
like
buying Ferraris.
furthest thing from their mind.
Yeah.
Furthest thing. I mean, what are you doing with 7,000 high sport performance cars? Like, seriously. It just doesn't. It
takes you an
doesn't make
hour
any
to get
sense.
them, as you said, like an hour if you had to go get one.
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half. Dude, his jet is he bought for $100 million, but then had it gold plated. Now it's $220 million for this jet with gold details inside the plane in most of the parts. He customized his private jet into one lavish mansion, living room, bedroom, bathroom, all of which are decorated with pure gold and crystals.
Yeah.
Like, that's just like, how crazy can we think? You know? You wouldn't dare. Yes, I would. I would dare. Did we find out he was the Brunei? It's like East Asia or whatever.
Yes, it's definitely not an Indian, or it's not the accent
Yes.
you just did in terms of a Chinese accent. It's more Indonesia, if you can pull that off.
Yeah, sure. It's like, I don't think you would dare do gold plated everywhere and the crystals. Who would do such a
Yeah,
thing?
it's still a little too Chinese
Hold
to me.
on. I don't think you would dare.
Yeah,
Put crystals in the gold plating on every
little
part
more.
of the jet.
Go a little more
I did
Vietnamese,
not do-
Indonesian. Yes, tighten it up, tighten it up.
Oh, I did not know. If I would put gold crystals.
I like that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
it's a
it.
little
gold plating. We do not put gold plating on everything in the jet. Oh, yes, I will. No, you would not do that.
Much better.
Selfish.
Yeah, I can't help but wonder if eternally this guy might not regret this, but
Well, I'm eternally going to regret those horrible choices of accent. That's for sure. I'm going to be held to account at some point, somewhere down the line for that. It's going to come back to bite us.
Hey everybody, the Final Four is set. Hockey playoffs are right on the horizon, as are NBA. So why don't you stop on by the Hamlin Pub to watch your favorite team on one of their numerous TVs and enjoy sports specials like the $7 medium hand-tossed pizzas, boneless wings, or the Nacho Supreme, of course. These specials are good at all 5 Hamlin Pubs locations, and Ezus knows what those are, right, Ezus?
Oh, yeah, of course. Brain fart, man. Rochester Hills, Clarkston, 2 in Shelby Township, and Chesterfield.
Bam.
Why don't you write yourself a little cheat sheet note and just tape it right there?
He's got it down. He doesn't need that.
It's a way to make myself try to use the brain, Mike.
Yeah. The last few days, Jay, I have been harsher on creepy Uncle Joe Biden,
right,
than anyone else in this room. Usually I am the creepier one that's like, yeah, what's the big deal?
I just haven't said anything necessarily.
Yeah,
but
Jay,
I played devil's advocate. I think he's creepy as fuck, but I think there may be an explanation for it.
Well, I'm starting to come around to what you were saying, playing devil's advocate. 2 more women have come out and accused him of inappropriate behavior and blah, 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 blah.
And there's no question this is a hatchet job. This is a political job trying to take him out at this time because Beto and Sanders, etc., want to take him out at the knees. No question about it. Why wouldn't this have been discussed 8 years ago, 10 years ago?
Yeah, maybe. Because 10 years ago, you could be inappropriate with women and nobody cared. You know? I mean...
This has been creepy for 8 or 10 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
just the videos of...
That was a joke, by the way, for anyone
No,
listening.
I know.
I was not being serious. Like, you could be a creep to women 8 years ago.
No, but
I know.
Obviously, things have changed in terms of, Me
it's
Too
escalated.
and all that. It has escalated.
Just a tad.
But don't you think 8 or 10 years ago we looked at that same thing and gone, dude, what a fucking creep.
He's been
sniffing her head.
Yeah, we've been calling him a creep for many, many, many years. But it was just kind of, it was brushed off as, that's Joe being Joe, that kind of thing.
But now it's opportunistic. Like, hey, this matters to people, so let's put it out there and knock him out at the knees so he can't get traction in the presidential run.
See, you're more convinced. See, I would be more convinced if it was the right coming out and women
The right doesn't matter right now, dude.
No, I know, but actually, does any of this matter right now? We're kind of a ways out.
Yeah, they're running right now, man.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? This is the time.
So you think it's because that's the thing. It's like I would think that I know they do go after each other,
There's
but
no
this is
question.
Well,
there are different factions within the parties.
Sure.
There isn't just like one Republican Party that everybody agrees on everything. Oh yeah, they're all behind Trump now. No, there's factions, and it's the same among Dems. There's the newbies who want the AOC kind of stuff to go, and then there's the older guard that looks at Obama and goes, Biden's an extension of that.
But if you're a Democrat and you're running, there are a lot of people in that party that think a more moderate, central, truly Democratic guy like Joe Biden is the only one that would really have a chance to beat Donald Trump. There's a lot of people that believe that. And so that's why I'm thinking it would be more.
You're envisioning a unified party.
I know.
That's going,
and
you know what? Let's do what's best for all of us. No, there's like 10 people vying it out right now, like hardcore.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a couple more women, and I was coming a little more your way on this, like, okay, we get it. If there's one story of Joe Biden, rubbing the small of a lady's back and she was uncomfortable, this train won't stop. There's a billion examples. Joe Biden has been doing this for decades. This is Joe Biden's thing. Now, that's a whole hell of a lot different than he pinned me against the wall and jammed his tongue down my throat or grabbed my ass or my titties. That's different level. That's where it's like, oh my God, I didn't know where this guy was going to stop. He threw me against the wall and made me make out with him. But if it's like posing for a picture, arm around me, and his arm was a little too low on my shoulder, like if that's
socially
the game,
creepy and weird. But he's doing it in public. He knows he's on camera.
Yeah.
I don't know. But then on the other side of it, we know, or I know flat out a person who was propositioned by the dude. So, there's that side of him as well.
And I think in fairness, the truth of the matter is when you get powerful guys in a powerful city like that saying, hey, you want to go in the closet and suck my cock? Or, hey, grab him by the pussy. Like, that's probably way more normal. I mean, it takes a certain ego to even want to go to Washington to make a difference. Mm-hmm. Like, you're just an egomaniac fucking monster probably by the time you get to that level. It doesn't surprise me at all that they would think they're untouchable. They can do whatever they want. They can fuck anyone they want. Like, that doesn't surprise anyone here. We've all seen that guy.
Yeah.
And so, but I think, okay, we get it. It's fun to laugh at, and Biden's crossed the line maybe, but he touched the small of my back. He rubbed his hand down my back, and I made me feel. It's like, okay, if every time someone touched you, made you feel slightly uncomfortable, is going to destroy everybody's life, I think we got it. Joe Biden's done this a billion times. Can we move on? If he fingered one of you guys against your will, great. Let's talk about it. But if it's he put his arm around your shoulder, he fucking put his hands on your shoulders for a little bit. No, if he fingered you and you didn't want that, now we're talking. Because I don't need to hear, I was 22. She met him at an event. This is kind of bold, though. Devoted to sexual assault. It's at the University of Nevada. Caitlin Caruso, 22. She was 19 at the time. Biden places his hand on her thigh while she squirmed in her seat to show how uncomfortable she was, then gave her a hug and held it just a bit too long. She was startled at Biden's behavior because she had just told the audience of her own experience as a sexual assault survivor. That's not reading a room at all, is it?
What a dick.
The other was inappropriate touching took place at a fundraiser in Minneapolis. Biden met DJ Hill, 59 years old, a writer who attended the event with her husband. Hill and her husband were posing for a photo with Joe. Put his hand on her shoulder and then began to run it down her back. This made her very uncomfortable. She did not complain at the time. Only he knows his intent. But yeah, so I imagine we will see tons more if you want. There's probably a billion examples of that, of him. Don't you think?
Yes.
I mean, I mean, I hope there's not I didn't want to be fingered, but he did. I hope that story's not out there. But that's kind of when I want to hear more about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, wake us up when that happens.
Yeah, wake us up when we get there. Once we take it to the next level.
In the meantime,
I'm interested.
You guys creeped out at all by the back of his head? He's got a weird back of the head.
Dude!
Yeah?
Is it too flat?
Yes, it's too flat. It's goddamn flat, man.
Yeah. You know what? His fucking lazy parents let that baby lay on his back
I was
too long.
about to say that's what happens to a baby when you lay him down, and it actually does happen. Like, you see the skull, is not totally formed and all that, so you do have to be careful not to just lay your kid on one side.
Well, don't they have those special helmets you can wear that'll refigure? Maybe, Joe, we should get Biden one of those helmets that babies wear.
Do you have an image of the back of this guy's head? Because it just creeps me out. It's so flat, and the way his hair sits on there.
Yeah.
And then his face is taut in weird areas where he's got work done, and man.
Yeah, you got to get a side.
Yeah, okay. Just
see,
he's liver spots.
See him losing his hair in his 30s on the far left,
man.
and then here he's still got a hairline.
Yeah.
50 years later.
He's plugged it.
Yeah. I mean, that is bald as fuck far right.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Look at that flat head.
Yeah.
God damn it.
That's what it is, right? His parents let him. Why didn't they fucking just mold it like Play-Doh?
Well, by his parents, you probably mean the help, but
yeah, and he's not helping himself with that hair. If he could do a little ducktail, that'd help, right?
Remember that perm I told you?
The subject from that flat ass head.
Yeah. If he could, remember that dope ass perm. Remember I was telling you about Matt in my class had just the back.
That would work here.
It would do it. It would change the subject at least. That was cool. I miss those days when we had the mullet going, and then it was like, fuck it, I'm perming the mullet. Just the bottom few inches.
Perm it up proper.
Dude, look, it sucks, man. It's because it happens on some level, it can happen to all of us. But the human body can get so ugly. Just look at that, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everything just starts to droop,
That guy trying to be like, suck my dick.
He's a decent-looking older guy, though.
I know, but still, even as a decent-looking older guy, just look at the ear and the neck and the hair.
Look at the guys around him, too. I can't remember that douchebag, the bald asshole to the right.
I've never seen him.
Yeah, you have. You have. He's a Democrat loudmouth. Coons, maybe? Senator Coons, might be. But look at, we're all human beings. We're just human beings. Like, the more you live, the more you realize, oh, fuck, nobody else knows shit either. None of us know shit. We're all going, oh, man, one day I'm going to be an adult. And it's like, dude, I'm in my 40s. If I'm not an adult now, I'm not going to be an adult.
You're closer to 50 than you are 40. Mike.
Yeah,
Let's
so
be
are you.
honest about it.
So are you.
No, not me.
Yeah, you are.
I'm younger than you.
No,
way younger.
No, you're not.
Way.
Yeah, graduated at the same time.
So
not
what?
That much younger.
Yeah, explain
a few
that.
months.
Explain that.
Yeah, I graduated at the same time as the kids, too. And they have some different ages.
But these guys walking behind Joe Biden like he's got all the answers, sucking his dick and kissing his ass, and it's like humans
He's
as
a superior. They're subordinates.
I know, but just humans in general. It's like, we're the pack of guys that are going to follow these guys over here at DC. because they know everything.
We are a social species.
It's just odd. Looking at that picture, it's just like, here he is, this all smug, old-ass fucking white guy. Holding court, kissing babies and shaking hands. Everyone's like, well, yeah, he's got it all figured out. I wonder if he goes home at any point and just goes, fuck, I don't know shit, man. Faking it till I make it. I've been doing that for 78 years.
Wakes up in the morning, his wife has to give him a rub down and a pep talk every morning. Joe, you're smart enough. You're good enough to do this.
Honey, I'm not.
You are, Joe. Come on.
You're the
roll up your sleeves and get to work for the American people.
Stop saying that to me. You've been telling me to fake it till I make it for 50 years.
Imagine if he just totally lacked confidence. That guy.
Yeah.
Just faking it.
He's just wiping away tears. One big breath out as he opens the door. Ladies and gentlemen of America, it's me, Uncle Joe. Just rolling up my sleeves, going to work.
That guy does not want for confidence.
No.
Not at all.
No.
Hey, does your money work as hard as you do? You'll spend upwards of 45 years working to support your lifestyle, provide for your family, and set aside money for retirement. Do you know if you'll be able to retire on your terms? How could you know? If you don't have a plan, let Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial help to make sure your money is working as hard as you are. Call Mark today. 248-626-2000. Ask for Mark.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
By the way, Eric chimes in via email. He says, the new studio looks and sounds great. However, as I'm a visual learner like Jay, I prefer to listen and watch the podcast on YouTube. So, hey, Eric, if you're there.
Hi, Eric.
So I wanted to just drop a note to say you will have significantly less glare from the sun through the windows if you switch the blinds to facing down towards the window instead of away. The glare can throw the cameras off for YouTube and Facebook Live. Thanks, Eric.
Well, those aren't
Are
coming.
you aware of the usage?
I think everyone's aware of that. Unfortunately, those are not coming from.
Yeah, it's a skylight.
Yeah.
Wait,
I tried to fix
these
that
are
today.
facing down, right?
You'll have to, if you switch the blinds facing down toward the window instead of away.
Down toward the...
Yeah, I think he's suggesting the opposite.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see what he's saying.
No, wrong
But
button.
we're-
No, that's the wrong button.
No, wind the
I know
little
what he's
spinny
saying.
thing.
Okay.
But really, I think Isis is right. I think what we're dealing with is the skylight issue. But,
Let me see.
we'll give it a whirl there, Eric.
Well, that looks way better.
Do you know? You didn't even. How do you know?
It feels better. Yeah.
I think
He's
really
probably
talking-
right. He sounded like he knew what he was talking about.
Definitely did.
I mean, that's of all the things you could target to, like,
Gotta be
I'm going to
honest.
add my 2 cents. He chose the blinds, dude.
I know.
I mean, that's...
I'm gotta be honest, dude. Look at this. If you look at the
Is it
screen,
worse now?
I'm looking at the two that are going the way we had them, and the one that's going the other way, and I liked it the other way.
You liked it the other way? Or
If you look at that screen, don't hear it. I'll
Show
try to-
Jay.
I'm
Can you
trying
show
to-
Jay?
I know it's don't like.
Yeah, I got to be honest.
Thanks,
the other
Eric.
way, it's less.
This is what we needed to do. Hold on, E. Hold on. Show Jay, because you're retarded.
Okay, there we go. Really bright, really bright. And here we're knocking it down. Yep, it's darker.
Yeah, it is.
Better now.
That guy's
Yeah,
an idiot. Eric's an idiot.
We're going to have to blind
What's
up proper the skylights.
Yeah.
Can you
gonna have
do
to
that?
Something. Oh, sure. You can throw a
Can you
sheet
put
up
the
there.
blinds on the skyline?
Yeah, we need the blind biz to get back over here. A little more work to do, guys. Moving on from the blind discussion, which is always fun. Chicago. We're gonna have a new mayor in Chicago.
Yeah, a gay black lesbian chick? Is that? I mean,
Well,
I
gay and
don't
lesbian
want
are
to
probably
get
the same
intersectional here. I don't want to talk
Yeah.
about race when it's not warranted. I don't want to talk about sexual preference when
Well-
it's not warranted. But the whole country's talking about it, so I thought I'd mention it.
Yeah, I mean, the headline is Chicago elects its first openly gay black female mayor after, okay, so it's former federal prosecutor, Lori Lightfoot.
She weird looking.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Okay.
She easily defeated Tony Preckwinkle. And who...
Jesus, find a different image. She doesn't look that weird there, although her tooth-to-gum ratio is unbelievable.
Horse-like.
Here, I'll do
And
it.
there's
Really
a
is.
yellow tooth.
You know what?
An errant yellow tooth
dude,
for
her
some
teeth
reason.
there, go back to that, E. Her teeth there look like those fake teeth that you get that chatter.
Yeah,
You wind them up
wind it
and chatter.
up.
That's like the model for that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That is the model for that.
She might be
Holy
wearing
shit.
those.
Can you wear those? If you have no teeth, could you put those in? Don't wind them, obviously, because that'd be ridiculous. I bet you
Every
could.
three minutes, she just goes, look at that. That's the model for those teeth, man. Those wind-up teeth.
You want to see other images?
Yeah,
now?
let me see a
Yeah.
different image, because she looked odder to me.
You didn't honestly think Preckwinkle had a chance anyways, did you?
You kidding me?
So yours just generic.
Wait, that was
top
Preck-
middle. Top middle.
Yeah, top middle. Dude, that
Top
was
middle.
Preckwinkle that you were showing, I
Oh,
think.
was it?
Yeah, that's
Oh, shit.
Preckwinkle didn't stand a chance.
Okay, so
you know,
that's
served
not.
in the city council for 19 years, but still.
So Lightfoot, yeah. So we've got a little goatism here.
Yeah.
Eyes are a little bit too far apart. We've discussed this before. They're a little too far little too close together, a little too far apart, they can really fuck you up.
Yeah.
And I think that's what she's got going here.
If there's something, who is someone that has the jowls hanging a little too low? Is it Droopy Dog or something?
She look a little bit like Cassius Winston.
Bit, just a bit.
You just push MSU through the Final Four and then get elected mayor.
Yes, if you shorten that hair up and put a green jersey on
And a
her
headband.
and a headband,
Drive her through the lane. Have her dishing off to Xavier Tillman.
see what her jumper's looking like nowadays. Yeah, honestly, I read this story and it was like, this is good. As far as qualifications go, you can't get
She
someone
well qualified. I didn't read anything
You
about
can't
her.
get more qualified than Lori Lightfoot. She's got more melanin in her skin than most. She loves eating pussy.
Check.
Yeah, I mean, she's a female.
What else do
She's a
you need to
shoe-in.
know?
Shoe-in.
She's black. She's a she, and she eats box.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean,
So
that's
eating
right
the box
down
is
the
what pushed her
checklist.
over, though, because
Oh.
Periwinkle, or whatever her name is,
Preckwinkle.
also a female black woman.
Yeah, doesn't eat
So,
the box.
right.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I read that, it was like, oh, fuck, black, female, lesbo. I mean, is there anything more that you need to
It's
successfully
amazing.
be the mayor of a city? I think we can all agree that that checks every box that you want checked. It really does. Plus, she's promising, and it's nice to see her running on promises that seem realistic and things that can get done in Chicago, because
boy, here we
nobody's
go, right?
ever talked about this type of thing or run on this type of thing. And it's nice to see someone finally go, hey, guys, here's the real problem, and I'm running on this platform.
What's her stance on Jussie Smollett? Is that
she
on the
doesn't-
platform?
Nah.
Small potatoes.
He's black and gay, so she's, recuse herself from that conversation. She's promised to rid City Hall of corruption.
Okay.
Jesus, what a stable of generic.
Yeah.
Like, just,
What are you talking
I'm
about,
gonna
dude?
give-
Overbroad. It's
Would
been
we
said
not want
for 2 centuries.
Would
in
we
Chicago.
not want to rid Chicago of corruption in City Hall? Come on, guys.
What is Chicago known for most?
Corruption in City Hall would probably be tops of the list.
He's gonna rid.
Hold on,
corruption.
there's more on the plate. Relax. That's just one thing.
She's just getting started.
If
Yeah.
she could just do that, she doesn't even need this other shit.
Well, dude, I mean, there's more days in the year than one. I mean, so day one, we're coming in hot. We're going to rid City Hall of corruption. Next, we're going to help low-income and working-class people. You know?
Perfect.
They've been left behind and ignored by Chicago's political ruling class, and those days are over.
That's sufficiently specific for me.
Yeah. So when I read that stuff, I'm like, she's like, I'm not a person who decided I would climb the ladder of a corrupt political party. I don't hold the title of committee man, central committee man, boss of the party. Preckwinkle said she lacks experience. This is not an entry-level job. Dude, black, woman, gay, how much more experience do you need than
You guys
that?
were neck and neck until we went pussy eating.
Yeah. Wait,
she
she
took the
eats
lead.
box too? Done. Got my vote.
Does it say what she's going to do on Saturday against Texas Tech?
She hasn't talked about it. She's trying to
She's going to drop
eliminate
20.
Dude, she doesn't want, bullet board material.
What I need her to do is to stay out of early foul trouble, because that's the one thing that
Yeah.
can really derail that team.
It's going to be tough against the Texas Tech defense.
She gets in early foul trouble. You're bringing Foster Lawyer off the bench. Come on, man.
Yeah, it's not
Come
good. It's easy to talk about change. It's hard to actually do it, was what Preckwinkle said. And it's like, yeah, except we finally got someone qualified in office who can get this shit done. So the future looks bright for Chicago, man.
Oh, definitely.
Well, for one, the
Congratulations,
corruption,
Lori.
Obviously, the corruption and the
Helping poor people.
Yep.
Yeah,
right.
low income, I mean, God forbid, we don't help them.
Okay. I'm not
Constantly.
sure. I'll pull this up and see what you think. I suppose.
See, if Kadog was here, he'd have.
I mean,
It's
I got-
him, man.
Dude.
He'd have Cassius
Oh,
driving
man.
the lane with
Yeah.
Lightfoot's face on
Yes.
it right now.
If you could just Photoshop a green bandana on her. That's all I want to see is just her with a green headband. Not bandana. What a great call. And there is something goat-like. It's not as bad as, what's his name on Fox
Oh,
News.
sure.
Chris, what's Chris's name? It's more of a cock party than a
Yeah,
blow
why can't I
job
think of
than a
his name?
curb job.
I don't know
That guy.
Yeah,
That guy, whatever his name is, that guy's goat eyes. I've said it before. He he might not be able to suck both dicks at the same time, but if you stood on either side of his ears, he could see both your dicks.
Shepard Smith.
Shepard Smith, yes.
You're right, dude.
You know what I mean?
He's bad.
Yeah, Shepard Smith, and they're widening as he ages. Man, that J-Lo, she's known as the girl from the blocks, more like giving a blowjob than a curb job. Oops. Don't know where that came from. Maybe because I was given a blowjob in the break 10 minutes ago. Let's take a quick time out. I did want to tell you, though, Jay, Michael Brown's mom.
Yes.
Her,
she
Lesley
lost her
McSpadden.
city council run.
Yeah. I have a question about her statement. I'm wondering if she had help writing it. Remember...
Why would you ask that of any candidate?
Well, we've seen Lesley McSpadden speak before.
Red-haired? Or
Both.
Yeah.
We've seen both speak. I don't know if she is now. I read her statement after she lost, came in third place. I believe there were 3 people running.
Particularly humble and professional?
Well, it reminded me of who was Michael Brown's buddy? Remember?
Dorian Johnson.
Yeah, Dorian, and it was like, Mr. Johnson, your briefcase, with his statement.
Yeah.
Where it was like, just thinking someone maybe helped him. So I don't know. We'll check when we get back.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. continues now, bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Mike and Jay. Of course, Big E. And apologize in advance if I need to shut this down a few minutes early, but I got to get to a lunch meeting. So, but we got a few minutes left before I'm going to be in trouble. Time-wise, I mentioned Michael Brown's mom. We all remember her. I mean, it was the dad, Michael Brown Sr., right? That wore the
Burn this bitch down.
No, that was the stepfather.
Oh, okay.
Michael Brown
Passionate.
Sr. was the infamous Gone to Soon
Oh,
shirt.
right. Yes.
You know, with the luscious beard.
I
Big
can picture
dude,
him.
Hulk
Yeah.
of a man. And his mom had the bright red hair.
I remember.
She wrote a book, and I believe she went under the name Lesley with a Z. She's back to L-E-S, Lesley. A little confusing for people. But she was running for a city council spot in Ferguson, Missouri, which had she won, she would have had oversight over the police department in Ferguson.
Wow.
Can you imagine what that would have been like? And so, yeah, she finished third in Ferguson's third ward with unofficial results showing the winner is Fran Griffin. And I would have pegged Fran Griffin as the natural winner. But Lesley was a wild card in there just because of Michael Brown and how much attention was brought with his death. Of course, they still cannot do this story at all without black 18-year-old Michael Brown was fatally shot by
A white police officer.
white police officer
Oh.
Darren Wilson.
You left one thing out.
Wilson claimed he was forced to shoot when the unarmed
Okay.
Brown came at him, attacking the officer during a street confrontation. Grand jury's decision not to indict is what brought burn this bitch down, right? And then it got looked at, I believe, didn't Eric Holders?
Yeah. Justice Department looked at it. And
Yeah,
did
not to be confused with Shitty
Not
Cuz. Not Shitty Cuz.
Shitty cuz.
Shitty Cuz is the name that Eric Holder, the guy that killed Nipsey Hussle
Right.
in Los Angeles, that
Different.
not different Eric Brown or Eric Holder. That's
As
Eric
distinguished
Holder,
from.
which is probably why Eric Holder, the real one in L.A., goes by Shitty Cuz. Makes more sense now. But I think Eric Holder's Justice Department looked into the autopsy. Didn't they do a whole thing on the Michael Brown
yeah,
thing?
Of course. They did it, and nobody got indicted, and
Yeah, they
really lost their shit.
Yeah, but burn this bitch down. Lesley did lose, so she says she emailed a statement to congratulate Fran. And I don't know, just from what we know about her, it's brief, but she said, I congratulate Fran on her victory. I feel proud of the positive race we ran, and I loved talking to the Ferguson community. Tomorrow the work continues, and I intend to be part of it no matter my position. I'm not going anywhere. Sounds like a reasonable statement.
Sure.
But I don't know. Do we have any example of her talking? Because it's nothing that jumps out at me there, but I will say what I've heard, I heard a lot of,
that doesn't sound like it's necessarily ghost written. Is that what you're suggesting?
yeah.
Deadly force to defend her.
From what? Where was he defending himself from?
Unarmed kid.
Tell me that.
Kill a cop. This is mama. She don't got to need help.
What was he defending himself from?
Everybody want me to be calm. Do you know how them bullets hit my son? What they did to his body as they hit his body?
Your son was charging a police officer.
I know.
The evidence
Ain't
showed.
nobody had to live through what I
Nobody
had
has to live through what I has to live through. I don't know. It's like I said, it's
Passionate,
small. It's
you know.
passionate. The times are different. She's calmer now.
Talking to a different audience. It's a different context.
Yeah, I feel proud of the positive race we ran, and I loved talking to the community. I intend to be. The work continues. I intend to be part of it, no matter my position.
There's no herewiths or heretofores, so
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
necessarily think a lawyer was involved in drafting that.
I didn't say it wasn't a stretch. I'm just saying, gentlemen, I want to table this. Give me your opinions. So you think
My opinion is she wrote it.
Lesley typed that out
I
herself?
I
in
have
an
no
email?
reason to doubt that.
Okay. People had skepticism over her campaign. Apparently, she wasn't spending a whole lot of time in Ferguson. She only moved there a year ago. She didn't live in Ferguson. Not that she was that far away from Ferguson, but Latasha Brown said she was concerned that she mostly campaigned from afar rather than really getting in with the community. Third Ward needs somebody who's going to mingle with the people. You can't make change from a distance. If you don't know what your constituents are going through, if you're not there to hear what they're saying, how can you lead these people and make decisions for these people? So McSpadden, Lesley, Mike Brown's mom, said, I wanted to come back to the place that caused me so much pain and did me so wrong and to do something right. And then, I don't know if you guys heard the story. I don't think we did it, but last month it emerged that 6 of the protesters in Ferguson in the riots that they had there, 6 of them have died in the past 4 years, drawing speculation in the activist community that something sinister is at play. 2 were found dead inside torched cars.
Trying to silence everybody.
Yeah, I mean, these guys had
Stop
a
them
voice.
from telling the real story.
3 died of apparent suicides, and another collapsed on a bus after an overdose. Clearly sinister things going on here. Edward Crawford, do you have the picture of Edward Crawford? This is a famous picture, Jay. That one there, it was part of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. They had won some Pulitzer Prizes for their continuing coverage.
Is he holding the bag of chips while throwing a Molotov cocktail?
Yeah,
that's
well,
amazing.
that's
cocktail and chips.
That's Edward Crawford Jr.
Is that son of a bitch holding the bag of chips? I
Damn
want
straight
that
he
answered right now.
Yeah,
Is he?
I think so.
I think he has a...
Well, what's your other option? Set it down?
Is that a bag of fucking Lay's potato chips?
It appears to be an opened.
Oh, God damn it!
And it's a personal one. It's not a giant bag. It's not like he's
Oh my
overeating.
God, it's snack size. He's got a bag of chips in his hand.
Appears to be barbecue. Isn't the barbecue Lay's bag black?
Yeah, I can't see it well enough to...
I mean, he's definitely got some Lay's going. As we know, you can't eat just one, so you would bring the bag out on the streets with you. So this is a picture of him throwing a not a Molotov cocktail, but the police fired a tear gas canister at them, and he's throwing it back at them.
Here's a...
Hold on, don't leave this picture.
Oh no, there's a different angle I was pulling. Where did it?
Oh yeah. Oh, we get a reverse
the
angle.
reverse, dude.
Yeah, I know, but I just thought maybe...
Go back to the original E. Flip it back.
I don't know. I think you can see
No. You just reverse the image.
It's the same
There you
picture.
go.
Okay.
Same picture. So back it out. Dude, this kid fatally shot himself in May 2017.
That might be better made. I'm just saying.
I'm going Lay's, but okay. He told acquaintances he had been distraught over personal issues of late and then killed himself. Back it out so we can see the picture in full, E. Jesus. I want to see the picture. Does this kid look like he had a future as a pitcher? Look at the form on this kid. Back it out, E, so we can see the whole picture.
He's got a little Lamar Luttrell in him, doesn't he?
I like his plant foot. He looks balanced, centered, shoulders to,
you being
to
serious?
hips. Yeah.
I don't like the mechanics.
Really?
I think it looks pussy, man. It's Lamar Luttrell. He's throwing a shaky javelin.
No, I like the way he's squared up, his body. Now, it's an odd angle. Now, he could easily come up, Jay, and just be like, bleh, throw like Tom Cruise. But
He's
willing
losing
to...
a lot of power. He's got to drive with the hips.
Well, yeah, he's not at the drive of the hips moment at the pitch,
Well, I can
though.
tell from the mechanics right now, he's not going to be able to drive through fully.
Yeah, for sure.
In his defense...
No, I mean, dude, where his planting foot is?
Yeah, for sure.
Where his foot's planted, dude? Look at this. If I'm throwing a fucking ball and my foot's already like this, dude, you're going to...
No, in his defense, first off, he's holding a flaming bag of flaming can of fire, okay?
And better made potato chips.
Better made potato chips. He's got other things on his mind at the moment, but his plant foot is solid. He's here in this position. If he comes hard over the top, because the trick is not to throw with this part of your arm, it's your shoulder, your rotator cuff.
Understood.
So if he comes over top hot and he's driving, leaning forward,
I don't like it, man.
I think this kid missed out, man. I'd like to see him throw a few pitches. That's all I'm saying.
Well, he never will, because he was shot in the back of the head twice. Suicide. No, how did he kill himself? Does it say?
Shot to the face, I believe. Yeah. I don't know if he was holding a bag of potato chips when that happened, but I couldn't rule it out. I've seen him do other extraordinary things while holding a bag of potato chips, which that definitely is.
It's a bag of chips.
He's holding a bag of chips. But
God damn it.
Would you set it down, though? I think I would fold it over once and close the top. There's a lot of smoke and ash all over that city. It's filthy.
It might not be priority for me, to be honest. If I'm out, I might set it down. Yeah, in that instance, I might.
Well, it depends how many chips are left in it. Because that thing could have been just opened, and it's like a thing goes ting, 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 rolls up on
decision.
you.
God damn it, I got to throw this flare back.
Oh, fuck. Give me 1 second. I'm going to throw this thing like a major league pitcher would and just fire that thing. I'm saying he looks like he's going to get some good launch speed and distance on that throw.
I disagree, but we could put up a major league pitcher
We'll have
image to image.
Disagree to agree. on this one, I guess. The parents of the fake Uber driver accused of killing the girl in South Carolina, Samantha, was it?
Yeah.
Samantha Josephson.
The parents of the victim or the driver?
The parents of the driver.
They're speaking out.
Interesting take. Interesting. I don't know if this changed anything, but did notice when that car pulled up, can't see in the car. Can't see who's in that car. Now, Nathaniel Rowland is his name. He's 24. He's accused of kidnapping and murdering 21-year-old Samantha. Her body was found dumped hours later. We thought it was a horrible murder attempt. Like, there's so many errors, and if you're trying to get away with a murder, this
missed
is not
opportunity.
The way to do it. Hugely. His parents claim their son was at a party. There's so the dad. Let's see, Henry and Loretta Rowland. So their son is a good kid. Insists there is no way he could have murdered her. No way in the world he could do this. My heart goes out to the family because they lost a life. I feel so bad, but my son didn't do it. The truth is going to come to light. His parents claim the son was at a party at the time that Josephson was kidnapped. He passed out, and from my understanding, it was 2:30 in the morning. When he finally woke up, he went to search for his keys. They weren't in his pocket, so he stepped outside to see if his car was there. His car was out there. He opened the door. The keys were in the car. There was blood everywhere. That's as far as we know right now. It's going to come to light who did it, why they did it, and where they did it at.
Let me ask you this. You walk outside, you open up your car door, your keys are in it, blood's everywhere. Just go ahead and clean it up. What do you do?
Well, I think he did a shoddy job of trying to clean it up. But then what I wouldn't do was
maybe alert the authorities?
I don't know why he would be caught driving around the same neighborhood where the girl was kidnapped from the night earlier. Also, and they said that, look, Roland's parents said that even though they're poor, they're working to find their son the best attorney. Please don't blame my son. If he did it, I'd be the first person to lock him up and throw away the key. But he didn't do it. There's no way. I'm sorry it happened. But I cannot afford to let my son serve time for something he didn't do or something he didn't know about. I want to be on his team, and I feel for the parents there. But so if that story is true, first off, you would think there would be some corroboration from people at the party, right? That would go, wait, hold on. Timestamp says 1:30. We were doing bong hits and fucking, finishing off the keg at 2. Right. There's no way that was him. You get one or two people at the house party to say that. The other thing that's weird is he passes out. Someone takes his keys off him, takes his car,
returns it,
goes and commits murder, leaves a hell of a mess, and then brings the car back to the party. And
you going to clean up someone else's murder? I mean, you're not the wolf. You're going to clean up somene's murder? Come on.
Well, what do you mean? Like, if you did it, if you're thinking that you're framing this guy, why wouldn't you just leave the car back at his place? Then you go, oh, dude, I have him be like, oh, I passed out. I guess I didn't know. And
yeah, but I'm saying it was at least partially cleaned up. So this guy who's been arrested then goes, oh, good, my car's back. Keys are in it. Awesome. Full tank of gas. This wily blood everywhere.
Damn it.
I'll go ahead and mop up what I can, but
I got a new cell phone. That's kind of cool, I guess. But
that's what I'm saying, Isis.
I know, but I'm just saying, Mike says, like, what, you bring the car back? Yeah, because you're trying to
So you're saying this
someone.
was an inside job. This was a framing going on.
I'm saying that it's definitely a possibility. You're acting like it's not even like, what a moron.
I didn't say that. I said it'd be odd. It would be an odd scenario. I wasn't thinking of the framing of poor Nathaniel.
That's what
I wasn't taking that into account. Now,
what do you mean? That's the whole story. That's the parents' whole supposition that he was framed.
Boy, oh boy.
Right?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think that's their whole theory. He was passed out. Somebody took the car, did the murder, returned the car.
Yeah.
He's just like, holy fuck, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, then he's going to have someone at that party stand up for him.
No question.
It's not a terrible argument. Honestly, if the parents could
prove their case, right?
Well, if the parents could,
I suppose there's probably going to be some other evidence. I don't know, stuff that the parents have.
That's for another day. Today, we need to change the narrative. I don't like the way this narrative's going down. If you looked at that video and went, shit, anybody could be in that car. You can't see shit. You can't even tell if it's a male or female in that car driving it.
I don't blame the parents for trying to come up with some excuse for their kid.
If they could go round up a few neighborhood kids that maybe would have been at this house party and go, look, man.
A couple Dorian Johnsons.
Yes. And just go, look, man, we got a Kickstarter going to GoFundMe. We're raising some money for his legal fund. Now, off the top of that legal fund, $5,000 to each one of you that will say, shit, man, we were bonging beers at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, it's possible.
Right? And then for $15,000,
boom.
Now,
your murdering psychopath kid is out. On the prowl again.
Yeah, it's not bad. Because the dad already told us, look, if he did it, I would
He'd be the first one
to put him in jail and throw away the key. So I have no reason to doubt his word.
His word is as strong as oak.
That's right. And it's not like he's got skin in the game. He's not charged with anything.
Yeah.
You know?
He doesn't care one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean,
no dog in this fight.
Dude, none. He's
no
not
horse in this race.
There's zero risk of Henry or Loretta going to jail. So he doesn't have a dog in this fight.
None.
I mean, he is as impartial gets. He's the definition of impartial.
Objective.
You know, if you said either Rowland goes to jail or Hank goes to jail, well, now he's got a little skin in the game.
Yes, he does.
Anyway.
I reckon there's probably some more evidence that we'll hear about. Maybe some under-the-fingernail DNA or something like that.
Nothing that's turned me
Maybe
yet.
some spudge laying around. I don't know. We'll find out.
We do have a little information, and then I got a bolt, guys.
Sure.
The driver that slammed into the 9-year-old girl, the teens.
Ladera Hannah Holmes?
Ladera Hannah Holmes, sir. Very, very good. Yes, Ladera Hannah Holmes.
Is she taking any of the blame yet?
She should. They're still trying to be sympathetic. I think she's probably still in the hospital. Her pelvic went to 3s instead of 1. It's supposed to be 1 solid bone. It went to 3. I believe she had a heart valve leaking, the right one, I believe. Remember? And you didn't blame it.
Was it right? Was it left? I did not blame
her
the
right heart valve was
Can't
leaking.
Be blamed.
And you said, I don't blame the right heart valve.
Not after
for
that
leaking.
impact.
So the suspect in the hit-and-run crash has been arrested.
Went skulking away like Bill Murray in Caddyshack.
No, the guy that first got out and ran.
Yeah.
Then there was a second guy that got out. His name is Gabriel Fordham, and they said the girl who owns the car, her boyfriend's 30, and these were clearly teenagers. That's what we're on the hunt for. Well, the guy who turned himself in, Gabriel Fordham, is 28. Claims he was fighting off. He was beating off an armed carjacker at the time inside the car when the incident happened. His attorney, Ryan Williams, said someone jumped in his vehicle with a pistol, put the gun to his face, made him drive, and the whole time my client was driving, he was kind of directing the path. Ladera Hannah Holmes was outside of her homes in Georgia with another girl who was uninjured, by the way.
Yeah, she didn't step into the path of the car. She didn't try to stick the car.
Video shows the second girl running off in one direction.
No, pretty much just staying in the same spot, really, on the porch. Ladera Hannah Holmes, on the other hand.
They claimed the one girl ran in one direction, Ladera Hannah Holmes ran in the other direction. And then it jumped the curb, ran a stop sign. Hope he gets ticketed for that, and then hit her. And, do you have the video there, E? Because we reviewed this a few times. And, Jay, I think you're absolutely right. Ladera Hannah Holmes had a part in this.
Plenty of blame to go around.
I was speculating that maybe she was like, oh, fuck, that guy's not getting through the hole. And the way she dropped the shoulder and kind of took that car on like a linebacker would, instinct or something. Fordham's getting the book thrown at him. He's charged with failure to maintain lane. I didn't know failure to maintain lane was a thing.
That's awesome.
Isn't that a great fucking
More
violation?
onomatopoeia involved in this story.
Yes.
Ladera Hannah Holmes, failure to maintain lane.
Failure to maintain lane. I want a song about that. Yo, motherfucker, I'm just failure to maintain lane.
I'm shocked. I'm blown away that you never heard of this before. Like you're gonna just drive on the highway and go back and forth between lanes.
Well, I've heard of the concept of
I understand.
stay in your
no,
lane.
don't Mike's not all anything. Mike's exactly like Jay. I know what swerving is.
I've
I know
never
what
heard
reckless
it so
is.
succinctly stated as failure to maintain lane.
Failure to maintain lane, dude. It sounds like a hook waiting to be written. So he's been charged with failure to maintain lane, failure to stop at a stop sign, reckless driving, hit and run, and serious injury by vehicle. It's quite a few things. They're just piling on there. His attorney says he's apologetic and he wants to help this family get closure from this issue. By the way, in case anyone was wondering, just not really point to this. We'll just drop this here in the middle of the story. Context. If you were wondering. Fordham has faced previous charges, including aggravated battery, aggravated assault, burglary, forgery, probation violations. So,
Yeah. Nothing like a little character evidence.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Ladera Hannah Holmes. That's really the story.
Ladera Hannah Holmes.
Ladera Hannah Holmes. So, yeah, my client tried to, the person in the white pants is the robber who attacked Fordham. My client tried to take the gun from him. The guy hits him in the face. My client blacks out. That's why you see the full-fledged force of them going through the stop sign. He only fled the scene when he saw someone come out of the house with a gun making threats.
See?
With emotions rising, he had no opportunity to stay there without possibly being harmed. He has not been trying to hide in the shadows. Charlotte Bolton, Ladera Hannah's mother, says, I don't care what it was. It's a miracle and proof that God exists because Ladera Hannah Holmes is alive.
What's the last thing that went through Ladera Hannah Holmes' mind before she hit the windshield?
What?
Her ass. Ah!
Can we watch the video, please? Miracle. It's called Miracle. And we're just playing out here. Let's see, this is... So they claim her one friend went one way and Ladera Hannah Holmes chose to go the other.
I think she... Well, okay, yeah,
Hey,
you're right.
stand with your friend.
All's fine. If you stay with your friend, you can be a helper in this situation. You're helping injured people get out of that car.
Right. Instead... How not to avoid a car collision. My God.
Yeah. That's like, you know when they say look both ways before you cross the road? Like, you definitely don't want to step into a car that's doing like 90 coming at you.
Oh, Ladera Hannah.
Yeah. So
She'll be all right, though, right? That's still the report?
So there's white guy. He was just put a pistol in that dude's face. He's like, fuck it, I'm out of here. And then the family comes out.
Yeah.
And then the video stops or something. Yeah.
But the latest report is she's going to be all right?
Sure. It's going to take time, though.
Okay.
Miracles take time, Jay. They don't happen overnight. Usually. I got to get out of here.
Yep. All righty.
You mind if we shut it down?
Let's shut her down.
Let's shut her down. We'll be back tomorrow, though. We got another show to do tomorrow. And wish me luck, fellas. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully the listeners will join us all then.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.